Hey everybody, AMF here, and some interesting developments as far as the Oregon-Tennessee matchup goes. But before I get to that, I have something I need to get off my chest because it's really starting to piss me off, and it's the Boise State game that happened earlier. Like, really? Are you effing kidding me right now? Like, what the hell was that? How did Virginia Tech not pull that game out? You would expect that they would have at least, they should have steamrolled them. Let's be completely honest. And now because of that, Boise State's probably going to get a national title berth, which is complete BS because they're going to walk all over the rest of their competition in the WAC, and I mean that literally and figuratively with WAC competition. Anyways, let's get back onto the real stuff. So what it looks like is I have a couple of pieces of information from my last video that were incorrect. I realized that. I realized that Tennessee wears Adidas instead of Nike. I didn't know that until not too long ago, so I apologize for that. You can condemn me if you want. I've already had plenty of it, but, whatever. I realize that Jonathan Crompton isn't your quarterback anymore, so I apologize for that. Didn't do my studying on that. My bad. You can condemn me for that if you want. What I was talking about when I said you haven't dealt with a spread offense, I was more really alluding to the fact that you haven't dealt with Oregon's type spread offense because we run the zone read, and Florida didn't really do very much of the zone read. They're more of an option style spread offense, more with like quarterback keepers and such. But actually, they're kind of going towards more of like a pro style offense now. But whatever. So there's that. But anyways, let's get back onto the real stuff. So what it looks like is that Tennessee has a couple of major wide receivers out. One with a broken hand, another with an unnamed injury that he's probable for the game now. So now you have to rely on two true freshmen to try to get the job done, along with a sophomore with limited playing time. You have, a junior quarterback that only has a hair over 200 yards in his career as a quarterback there. So that shows a lot of inexperience. You have, you know, a running back tandem with two players that haven't really seen very much time since Bryce Brown was taking up a lot of the time there and Montario Hardesty over the past couple of years. So that shows some more inexperience on that part of the ball. On the defensive side, you're only returning 6 starters, so that shows some inexperience at the other positions. So, that could be interesting. Not to mention that you guys do have a new head coach this year, and you do have a new defensive coordinator this year. Whether it's the Boise State guy or not, trying to learn a new defensive scheme can be rough for any new team trying to pick up a new defense. So there's that. It could be interesting there too. Now, you do have 100,000 people in your stadium, which will, it'll be a hostile environment no matter what, but it's not like Oregon hasn't played in a stadium like that. We played at Michigan when they were a really good team, and they sport over 100,000 people there too. We played at the Rose Bowl last year. Even though we lost there, they seat over 90,000 people in there. We play at USC on, every single year, and their stadium can seat a pretty large amount of people. So it's something that, we're pretty used to it. 100,000 people isn't anything we haven't dealt with before. It'll be difficult because, it's gonna be a close game no matter what. But there's really no reason, in all honesty and all bias aside, that Oregon shouldn't be able to walk in there and come out with a win. We do have a very inexperienced quarterback, but we do have a Heisman candidate running back that's coming off a suspension. So he might, whether he's rusty or not, we do have a good backup in Kenyon Barner, who did put up 5 touchdowns last week. It was against New Mexico, which isn't really that much to say, but 5 touchdowns is still 5 touchdowns. Not to mention our defense, we have a lot of returning starters, so we do have a lot of veterans on that squad that, while they are incredibly undersized for a team, as everybody saw that in the Rose Bowl if they watched it, they're still very, very fast, very physical. So, that can negate a lot of things for your guys' offense, especially if you're having, inexperienced players on it, at all positions, really. So, and not to mention, I did say it in my last video, but Tennessee, over the past couple of years, has had some issues playing Pac-10 schools, whether it be at home or away. You haven't beaten a Pac-10 school since 2006, so, it's it shows that that you're having problems playing Pac-10 schools. But that's really all I'm going to say about that. So in all reality, I see the game being rather close, but I will say that Oregon will win by at least 10 to 17 points. Anything more than that, I'm not expecting it. So you know if Tennessee wins the game, then that means you guys would have played a great game, and that's more power to you. That would have been a very hard fought victory by you guys, especially considering that you have a pretty decimated squad overall. So if you win, then that's, hey, more power to you. And so I'm gonna be just pretty brief with it. I'm not really gonna go out and talk trash, because I did that in my last video, and it's to the point where it's just getting kind of ridiculous now. Like, people aren't even talking football anymore. It's more about just just being retarded and stupid. So if you want to talk real football with me, you can, I'd be more than happy for you to either comment on this video, you can send me, private messages or whatever, and I'll be happy to talk real football, because that's a lot more enjoyable than just listening to a bunch of people running their mouth about a bunch of pointless crap. So yeah, I'll leave it at that. Go Ducks. See the Vol. We'll see you guys in 5 days, and it's going to be a pretty crazy game, so we'll just have to see how it plays out. It's going to be the game of the night, probably the game of the week, no matter what. So until then, I'll just talk with you guys later. See ya.